But our experts in Sunny Gavaskar, Suresh Rana, Harbhajan Singh join us. Sunny bhai, let me start with you. You talk about 7-0, India leading 7-0 as far as the overall record is concerned versus Pakistan. Do you think this is going to have an impact in today's game?
I think it does have an impact on the eve of the match or even just before you go out onto the field, because once you get onto the field, you forget everything. Good players forget about the previous previous match, previous over. So that is what it is all about. When you're talking on the eve of the match, when you're planning strategy, that will be talked about. Yes, we've lost 7 times against India. How do we turn things around? India will be saying in the team meeting on the eve of the match or in the team huddle before they go out to field, they will be saying, look, we've beaten them 7 times. Let's carry on. Let's give that little bit extra so we continue that record. So, yes, I think it will be there just before you enter the field. Once you enter the field, I think it will be all equal.
Okay. Suresh, we've seen both teams play 2 games so far in this tournament. Looking at that, which team do you think is the stronger of the two, looking at their strengths, weaknesses and the conditions on offer?
Definitely India. The way we've been playing, the way we chase against Australia, the wicket was very tricky in Chennai, the way Rahul batted, the way Virat Kohli took that pressure on and amazingly chased by Indian batters. They're looking very solid, having Bumrah with the new ball, then we have a Kuldeep Yadav, Ravindra Jadeja, Hardik Pandya also bowling really well. So I would say definitely India, because they have a very solid opening partnership. They have a very good number 3. Then they have KL Rahul. Then they have a Shreyas Iyer. Then not to forget Hardik Pandya. Then you have Ravindra Jadeja. Maybe Ashwin might play there because Pakistan is coming to Ahmedabad now. The wicket will be very, very different because the dimension of the ground is very, very big from the leg side, or probably I would say you will see a lot of pressure game from India, because they've been looking after their performance really well, because we never lost against Pakistan in the World Cup. I was a part of 2011 World Cup when we beat Pakistan in the semi-final. Then we played against Australia when we played in Australia against Pakistan in Adelaide. That game also we have won, and Virat Kohli always done well against Pakistan.
Okay, Suresh Rana, we heard it from him. Saibhai, same question to you. We've seen 2 games both teams have played so far. According to you, strength, weaknesses, if you were to analyze a SWOT analysis, which is the stronger of the 2 going into this game?
I'd like to think that India, because India has given an all-round performance with the bat. In both the matches, they've had their top 4 batters scoring runs. Yes, I know that in the first game against Australia, 3 of their top batters didn't score runs, but all 3 of them then made up for it in the game against Afghanistan, spent valuable time in the middle, got some runs under their belt as well. Kohli continued his form from the previous game of 85 against Australia with an unbeaten half-century against Afghanistan. And Rohit Sharma, got a brilliant 130. So I think the batting looks pretty good. Hardik Pandya really hasn't been tested so far. So that is a good sign. Then in the bowling, we've got Jasprit Bumrah taking the early wickets. We've got the spinners coming and strangling the batters. The fielding's been very good. Hardly any catches have been missed. The backing up, Ishan Kishan, for example, he might not have scored runs against Australia, but he was a live wire on the field. So I would imagine that India's all-round performance has been very, very good. And that gives you hope that against Pakistan, who's spin bowling, the numbers 4 and 5 bowlers look just that little bit iffy, gives you just a little bit of an advantage. Pakistan also, their skipper hasn't got runs, which will always put pressure, particularly when you're going to play against India. He'll be conscious of the fact that he hasn't spent time out in the middle. And even in the warm-up games, I don't think he scored too many runs. So clearly, I think that would be a little bit of a worry for him. And as we've seen, a captain who scores runs or a captain who's a bowler and he picks wickets, the leadership itself, the bowling changes, the field placing, they have an extra bit of confidence around it, with the confidence of himself being a contributor to the team's cause. So all that taken into account, I do believe that India start as the favourites.
Okay, we've heard from both the experts, so it's 2 out of 2 in terms of expert prediction. Both have gone with India starting off as the favourites. We can't let our third expert go by without answering this question. Harbhajan, is it going to be 3 out of 3, all 3 of you picking India as the clear favourite in this game? Or you think, no, it's a 50-50 game?
I do feel India is a very, very superior side, and while getting into this game, India will be feeling more confident than Pakistan. The score line speaks for itself. Beating Pakistan 7-0 in the World Cup, that's a big, big number, and I don't think it's going to change today. So I'm hoping that it'll be 8-0. Because recently we have seen Pakistan, they have done well in T20 format, but when it comes to 50 overs, I don't see they are as good side as we have seen them performing in T20s. So India getting into this game, they start favourite, and I think they'll finish on the top as well.
Suresh, one thing that we've seen in the tournament so far, especially here in Ahmedabad in that one game that was played, was that it was a belter of a track, a flat pitch. We're hoping that today's pitch, what we've learned right now, is that the pitch is going to be the black soil pitch, which is going to be used. Plenty of runs there. Keeping that in mind, which team starts or gets the more, advantage of the conditions? India or Pakistan, considering it's going to be a batting pitch?
Because the wicket will be different, because if you go to Gujarat now, because the weather is such, you might have a bit of dew in the evening because a lot of fans will come. You will have a lot of seam movement with the fast bowler under lights, and we have seen that in IPL. We have seen that in a lot of matches there. But the toss will be very, very crucial. India will win the toss. They will try to bat first because they want to put runs on the board and put Pakistan on pressure.
Okay, Saiba, I'll extend that question to you as well. Looking at the pitch or what we're expecting the pitch to be like, a belter of a track, which team does it favour more?
India, because of the batting depth that it has, and also because India's spinners on a good pitch, more than anything else, good spinners can make a difference. Not to forget that Ahmedabad will be a big boundary. It's not just a big stadium with 110, 120,000 capacity, but you have a ground where you really have to strike the ball well to get 6 runs. You really have to strike the ball well to be able to get a boundary. So I think with that in mind, I do believe that the way the Indians have been playing in their last 2 games with their fielding, etc., I think Indians definitely start the favourites.
Okay, because it's a good pitch, we heard from our experts saying that because it's a batting wicket, it's going to help the Indian team. Harbhajan, I'm taking that question to you. In that sense, we'd have to say that the 2 batting lineups that we've seen so far, you would be more satisfied with the Indian batting performance. Also keeping in mind, Pakistan did chase 300 plus versus Sri Lanka, but overall, man to man, how is Indian batting looking compared to Pakistan?
Well, it's good to see Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, they among runs, and of course senior players, when they start scoring runs in big tournament, that's a great sign. And of course you want them to continue with the same form what they've been doing from last not just 2 games in the World Cup, but even the previous games in the Asia Cup and even before that. So I believe this is a great chance for Team India to showcase their talent today once again against Pakistan, and this kind of a game gives them a lot of confidence. And I'm hoping KL Rahul, Virat Kohli, and Rohit Sharma, and if Shubman Gill's play, even him to come good with the bat.
Okay, we still have Suresh Raina, Sunny Gavaskar with us. Suresh, I'll take this particular question to you. There could be one selection headache for the Indian team. Does Ashwin play? Does Shardul play? Because that number 8 all-rounder slot is the one that they've been rotating in the 2 games. Who do you think is playing today?
I have a very, very strong feeling Mohammad Shami might come because he's a local player there. He's part of the IPL for Gujarat and he has done really well with the new ball. And not to forget Hardik Pandya, he is a leader there in IPL and he has won the IPL twice. He has won the IPL once and he was part of the IPL final also last year. So probably I would say Mohammad Shami can be the dark horse. And Siraj is bowling well, but I think Mohammad Shami has a very, very good record there. So hopefully I would say Mohammad Shami.
Okay, we've got Harbhajan Singh and Sunil Gavaskar also with us. Suresh Raina just spoke about Sunny Bhai, the various changes India can look to make. We're not too far away, just about 10 minutes to go before we get to know these changes. But what's that one change you would like them to make, especially that number 8 all-rounder slot? Fast bowling all-rounder, spin bowling all-rounder?
I believe that they will look at Ashwin. because Pakistan's got a couple of left-handers, South Shakil in the middle overs, which is where Ashwin will probably be required more than at the top. At the top, it could be either Imamul Haq, the left-hander, or Fakhar Zaman, the two left-handers at the top. But you do need somebody who can get the ball to turn away from the left-hander. And that's where I think Ashwin will come in. Not just because he can bowl well to the left-hander. He's a top-class bowler. A top-class bowler, it doesn't make a difference whether you're bowling to a right-hander or left-hander. The experience that he has and the cleverness that he brings to his bowling will make him definitely very useful. Not to forget that he's got 5 Test hundreds. So if required, he can chip in with some batting as well.
Okay, that is what the Indian bowling lineup should do as far as that change is concerned. You heard from Suresh Raina and Sunny Gavaskar, but I'll take this question now to Harbhajan. Let's take a look at Pakistan's batting lineup, Harbhajan. Babar Azam, he's not been in good form after that 150 he got at the Asia Cup. After that, he's had a dry run, 70-odd runs he's got in totality in the number of innings that he's played after that Nepal game. Against India, not a great record too for Babar Azam. Could this be the day where he rectifies all of this?
Yes, Babar's form has been concern for Pakistan, and whenever Babar score runs also, he's that kind of a player who gets 100 in 100 balls. So if he goes on to get 100, but recent his form is not been that great, and India will have the advantage. Babar not being in the form, and none of the other batters also looked really good apart from Rizwan and Babar. These are the two key guys for Pakistan, and India will look to attack these two guys and try to get them out early. And yes, Babar's form is concerned for Pakistan since he's not been scoring those runs, and today is a big game and he need to lead from the front, and let's see what he bring on the table. But yeah, Jasprit Bumrah, Kuldeep Yadav, the likes of these guys, they will test him.
Okay, you heard from Harbhajan. He thinks Babar Azam could be a big threat. Suresh Raina, I'll come to you. From Pakistan's side, who do you think could be the biggest threat on the given day for India today?
I think I would say Fakhar Zaman, because he's not performing well, and then they have Rizwan also, then they have Shafiq, but there is a guy called Iftikhar, because he knows how to play big shots. He always done well under pressure, and he likes to play straight shots. So in Ahmedabad, when you try to play straight shots, you always connect the ball. I would say Iftikhar Ahmed, because he plays down the order. He knows how to play in such game. He has done that against India a couple of times. So I would say Rizwan. Then you have Fakhar Zaman if he's playing. Then not to forget Sahinsha Afridi, because he has that record. Whenever he plays against India, he has some extra motivation to perform well against India.
Sir, I am from US.
Okay.
Give me a chance.
Okay, so we've heard from all our experts, in terms of what is that one threat that India would have to be careful against when it comes to that game versus Pakistan. Sunny Gavaskar also with us. Sunny bhai, what about you? Pick out that one player from Pakistan who could be a threat.
Mohammad Rizwan, he's been in very good form with the bat. He's got that mentality where he just doesn't give up. With the others, sometimes you get the impression that things are not going well. You can put the pressure on them. Rizwan's been batting superbly. He's behind the wicket, so he's one of those guys who will be keeping the spirits of the team up while fielding, even if they're not getting any wickets.
They will take